It's Old Firm week and I'm having a little bit of a mad one in the lead up to the game on Sunday. Hence why I'm doing my intro on the windy top deck of the European Highlander, heading to Larne for what is one of the most historic football matches possibly in the history of Northern Irish football. But my Old Firm week started yesterday, and just check out who I had the pleasure of speaking to. We've just done the warm-up. How did you find it?
It was enjoyable because we were talking football.
Yep.
You know,
Proper
both Martin
chats.
and I had great memories of being here in Glasgow and working here, and I think we see football through the same lens. I think we both our ideas about how it should be played, how you should manage are very similar.
Well, you came up for the derby this weekend to talk about it on the show. What are your thoughts going into it, especially from a Rangers perspective?
Well, I think obviously going to Parkhead, Celtic have to be favourites. They've dominated this fixture in recent seasons. I was at two Old Firm games last year, the cup final and a game at one of the games at Parkhead, and for me there's not a lot between the teams, so I'm hoping Rangers have a good day.
And even though Rangers ended up losing the league in the end, like there was only a few points in it towards the end, wasn't there? So like I said, there might not be that much
Yeah,
they
if you
need to
look
do
over the last number of years, Celtic have been a dominant team. But I'm gauging it on the two games I saw last year, and for me there's nothing between the teams.
And for Clement, he's not won a game against Celtic
He has to
yet.
start winning these games, you know, if they're going to win the league. He'll be wiser for the experience of last year.
Yeah.
You know, the Old Firm fixture is quite unique in world football.
And I suppose he's in a tough position between the board and the players at the moment, but I think he's done a really good job considering...
No, he's not in a tough situation between the board and the player. He's in a tough situation because he manages Rangers. You know, that is not an easy job, and I'm sure it's the same for whoever is Celtic manager.
Yeah.
You know, for Brendan it's not an easy job, although they are the dominant team right now. But you know, when you start to try and attach logic to football matches, you come away scratching your head at the end of it sometimes.
Martin, we've just finished everything with the warm-up. How did you find it?
I enjoyed it immensely. Enjoyed your company.
What a compliment. Yeah.
And Graeme, of course, you know, an adversary of mine as a player, and sometimes as a manager as well.
And so obviously you're up to talk about the derby this weekend. What are your thoughts going into it?
Well, obviously I think that Celtic are the dominant force at this moment and very, very strong. And although losing O'Reilly now at this minute is a bit of a blow, a possibility of getting some players in to replace him, I'm quite sure they'll try and do that there. But overall, yes, the game can go either way if it's a one-off game, but over the whole season you just expect Celtic to be stronger than Rangers, which they are.
And it's such an even derby. I've been looking into the numbers. They're joint on the amount of wins, they're joint on the amount of trophies. How important is this season?
Is that right?
Exactly the same amount of wins, exactly the same amount of trophies. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, would you, the amount of games they've had. But how important is this derby and then this season? Because one more trophy for Celtic and they go ahead of Rangers in
I genuinely
118 each right now in
Is that
trophies.
right?
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. So it is. Obviously, it's important. I thought most
this
of
one
those,
derby is a huge turning point for.
Well, Rangers need to get something from it.
Yeah.
You know, they need not to get beaten for a start, you know, at Celtic Park, because, again, having lost so many times in recent years, you know, psychologically starts to play in your mind, and you think to yourself, can you turn the corner? What shall I say? The Rangers they're financially they're struggling. The quality of player that they used to have doesn't seem to be there at this minute. So all of those things are massively in Celtic's favour.
Assembly stations, which are areas where passengers should assemble in a general.
I believe.
Really excited.
Killian out. And just like that, we're back on the road to Scotland. Well, on the sea to Scotland, and we witnessed some history last night as Larne became the first team from Northern Ireland to reach a European group stage. But before I can get on to everything that I need to for Celtic versus Rangers, I need to get from here on Northern Ireland behind me to Stranraerish, up to Dingwall for Ross County v Aberdeen, and then we've got Celtic and Rangers on Sunday. The Highlands. Clach na Cuddin.
I don't know, like weekend away.
Wow. The Aberdeen players are starting to leave, look. As you can see behind me there, one of the maddest games I've seen. I thought it was going to be a 0-0, and it was going to be a really good, entertaining 0-0 until Aberdeen scored like a 98th minute, maybe 99th minute goal to win it and remain top of the league. But yes, we've got to go from here now, down south, back to Glasgow. Aberdeen top of the league. Will that still be the case after the game tomorrow? Let's find out. I can't believe it, after interviewing Martin O'Neill and Graeme Souness and then going to Northern Ireland to witness history and then driving all the way up to Dingwall to watch Aberdeen score a 99th minute winner, to getting back down to Glasgow in time for Celtic versus Rangers for the biggest game in Scottish football. Now, yeah, yesterday's video will be up tomorrow. I'm going to give it a little bit of breathing room in and around all the Old Firm stuff. But yeah, a huge game today. Phillipe Clement still yet to win an Old Firm derby. I'm still yet to see Rangers win an Old Firm as well. I think I've been to like 6, 7, 8 of them already. A few at Hampden, a few here, I think 1 or 2 at Ibrox as well. But Celtic have just been so dominant in Scottish football and this fixture in recent years. It's really hard to look past them. But yeah, transfer windows finished. There's a few new signings on either side. I'm not sure if we'll see many of them today. Huge thanks as ever for everybody who watches the videos. I feel like this, Galatasaray Fenerbahce, Boca Juniors River Plate, maybe like a Brazilian derby, and like maybe Liverpool Man United, top 4 or 5 games in the world. So yeah, just feel so grateful every time I get to attend one of these, and I hope you enjoy the content regardless of if you're green or blue. You must be confident coming into today then?
You better believe it.
Do you reckon we'll see any of the new signings?
I think we might see 1 or 2. I think they'll be on the bench. I don't think they'll put them straight in, but I'm hoping to see Engels today.
And it's been a long time, obviously, since Rangers have got a meaningful win over Celtic in the league.
Doesn't that just make you smile, eh?
Why do you think Celtic have been so dominant the last couple of years?
Well, we've obviously got we've had good managers and good players. You know, I think that with Rangers going down and trying constantly rebuilding since they died. They've been constantly rebuilding and rebuilding. You can't be rebuilding for like 12 years. You've got to say, well, that's the team. But I think that their problem is that they buy the wrong players, they get the wrong managers, and this manager they've got now is not too bad.
I'm sure everyone will recognise you, mate. Groundhopper FC on YouTube, he's been on my videos before, but you go to so many of the biggest games all around the world.
Yeah.
Where does this one rank? Where is this in terms of your bucket list games?
So it's my first time, so I can't rank it yet, but from what I've heard and from what I'm thinking about, it should be in the bucket list, but that's what I'm just gonna discover today.
Yeah, and so what's some of the best derbies you've been to atmosphere-wise in the world?
For real, like bucket list derbies are the North Derby in Germany, Hamburg versus St. Pauli. For me, a tourist trap is, for example, Barcelona, Real Madrid. Big ones, Olympique de Marseille, Paris Saint-Germain, Slavia Prague, Sparta Prague.
Yeah.
Legia Warsaw, those derbies are like massive.
Yeah, they're special. And then, so what do you think going into today's game? Celtic have won a lot of the last few derbies.
Yeah, so Celtic is like a big favorite for today, but it's the start of the season. So I'm a bit nervous. Like everyone is favoring them today, and wherever you talk to, they say like, oh, they're going to win by 2 goals. But again, it's a derby, so I feel like anything can happen.
You're from the Netherlands. We've been to a game, NAC Breda against Willem II.
Yeah.
There was no away fans that day. There's no away fans today.
Yeah.
Do you think that takes away a little bit?
Yeah, I think that takes away a lot. For example, when they score, you don't hear the noise, but also the banter. I feel like in the UK, the banter is something that's part of the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to see it today. But I can't imagine that's taking away some atmosphere.
2-0.
2-0. And who's your favourite Celtic player?
Kyogo.
Kyogo. Nice. You happy he's staying? Yeah. You're over from just outside of Belfast?
Just outside Belfast, County Down.
How was the journey over?
Good. We were over from Friday.
Oh, okay, so proper weekend of it, yeah?
So we had a weekend of it, spent a weekend up at Lennoxtown.
And how have you found the season so far for Celtic?
Very good.
It's early days, but it looks promising, doesn't it?
Looks promising.
Is there any of the new signings that you're really looking forward to seeing at some point?
Would like to see Trusty. We missed him on Thursday evening.
Do you reckon he'll start today?
Not sure, but all the guys got on the coach last night. We come to visit last night and they all got on.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed.
Yeah, okay. And so today, obviously, it's the big one. It's the derby. Are you confident that you're going to win?
Massive.
And what's the score going to be? I'll start over here.
3-0.
3-0? 3-1.
2-1.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, can you go on the desk? Thank you.
I always really appreciate what Celtic do for me, particularly in these big games. Like, to have me here is just such an honour. So please do check out their YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to them. I'm sure there's a lot of Celtic fans watching. So yeah, if you're not subscribed already, make sure you go and do it.
22 is Jeff Dean. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, paradise is ours, but it's time to make it hell. So please join me and let's make some noise for the boys. Number 42, the captain, Callum.
The noise and atmosphere at these games is always so special. It's such a shame that I can't show you You'll Never Walk Alone on YouTube. The old copyright laws are quite archaic, but yes, it is Derby Day. Oh, Dessers! That should be 1-0 to Rangers. Dessers with a massive chance. He's worked himself a bit of space in the box and he's kicked it straight at Schmeichel. Should be 2-0. Matondo with a header there from the Tavernier cross. 10 minutes into the game, Rangers will regret missing these chances when Celtic start to get on top, which they inevitably will at some point. Did I seriously take Kyogo out of my fantasy team this week? Yes, I did, but it's Kyogo, the highest scorer on this channel. VAR! VAR. Wouldn't be a Footy Adventures video without a bit of VAR, would it? No goal. It's been given offside. It was good. Oh, I thought he looked on when it went through. Oh, back to 0-0. That one will count, and it is 1-0 to Celtic, and half of the Rangers defence were laying down when that goal went in. There's a few that slipped. Someone slipped, and then someone tried to get it back post. Maybe it was Trav. I'll have to watch it back. But the pressure from Celtic's just too much for Rangers to handle. Booking for Rangers there, I think Sterling for a foul earlier on. Death, taxes, and Rangers having an injured player having to come off. What a goal, Kyogo! beat them in total trophies as well. So this is a huge tipping point in this one game. Rangers have had a couple of little half chances there at the start of the second half, but there's just a real lack of conviction. Obviously had the early 2 chances, they could have been 2-0 up. Tav goes over to take the corner, he's going to get some stick obviously. Kyogo should have had another one.
Please welcome our new number 27.
McGregor cannot stop scoring. Oh my God! What a goal! What is it with Callum McGregor and scoring screamers this season? Saw one at Hibs the other day, the other week, and he's just banged one in there. 3-0, such a dominant performance. Rangers have barely troubled Celtic.
Coming on for Celtic, welcome and hold, number 14, Marin.
Kyogo leading the celebrations as per usual. Such a dominant performance from Celtic today. Rangers, apart from the first 5 minutes, we had 2 chances, never looked like scoring. Ian, what were your thoughts on that?
Well, I thought Rangers actually started the game quite well and really positive, on the front foot, aggressive. And you're thinking they're doing all right here, and then the disallowed goal seemed to sort of galvanise Celtic quite a bit. And obviously they then score, and I think that's 10 of the last 12 derbies Celtic have scored the opening goal, and it just became a familiar story then. Although at 2-0 Rangers had moments in the second half, but also at times they were run ragged by Celtic, who can do that to any team. It just showed, I think, what we already know, that Rangers are a fair bit behind Celtic at the moment, although, you know, they might look back at some aspects of the game and think, you know, we could have maybe even taken the lead, or, you know, done a bit more. But Celtic, when they're in this form, they've done it to 4 teams already in the Premiership now, and done it to Hibs in the League Cup. They're going to take some stopping.
And about the individual battles as well, it just seemed like all over the park, particularly in midfield. The last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 derbies that I've seen, it just seems like the middle of the park just overrun by Celtic every time.
Yeah, well, you got guys, I mean, obviously Callum, that was his 40th Old Firm today, so it's about time he got the hang of it. I mean, he just runs the whole show as usual, and Atate's experienced there now. Paulo Bernardo, not so much, but I thought he did good. Had the luxury of bringing on the new signings. It's just, it kind of summed up where Celtic are, I think, and where Rangers are. Celtic has set their standard already, and Rangers have got to find a way, and it's hard because, you know, Celtic are kind of making statements already that, you know, they're obviously going to be the ones to beat again. Rangers have got to find a way, and, you know, it's never easy.
And historically, this is quite a significant game because now Celtic are ahead on wins by 1. They were even going into it. I think on trophies they're also level. how big a game was this, just in the turning point of the history of this fixture?
I just think they're always big regardless. You know, I always say the next, the biggest Old Firm game is the next one, the most important one, and you know, Rangers have got to regroup and somehow go again in the New Year derby, and just as Phillipe Clement says, keep trying to find a way. But you know, the Celtic are so relentless at the moment.
Yeah, and, so sharp, aren't they? From
just,
minute one.
I thought a couple of things that summed them up today was Kyogo racing all the way back to make a tackle.
I noticed
on the edge
that.
Of his own box.
Yeah.
Maida did similar, and you know, I mean, obviously it's no problem for them because they can run 100 meters in about 3 seconds. But that kind of sums up the desire and the determination. And you know, Celtic have got better players at the moment. It's one of the basic, simple aspects of football, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
So the outcome overall wasn't that surprising, but Rangers, as I say, started all right, had a bit of a spell, a bit of a go in the second half, but without really convincing that much.
A hugely dominant performance from Celtic there, and yeah, they are now officially on top in this fixture, having won more games, and you wouldn't put it past them picking up more trophies than Rangers this season. They look almost certain to win the league again. Okay, we're still early in the season and anything can happen, but you'd be a brave man to bet against Celtic. The way they're looking in these opening fixtures, just unbelievable. I never thought that Rodgers would be able to get them to the level that Ange had them in terms of their hunger and desire, but it looks like they've got even more than ever that I've ever seen. I don't know, maybe it's just like recency bias, but it does seem like they're absolutely firing on every single cylinder possible. Rangers, on the other hand, maybe just don't have the quality to compete with them, don't have quite the fight, and especially in a big stadium like this, 60-odd thousand Celtic fans and not one Rangers fan just to back them up. It just must be so hard. Every time that like there's a throw-in or a corner and the Rangers players have to go over, they take so much stick, and it'd obviously be the same in the reverse fixture, but that's not until January. So Celtic now 5 points clear of Rangers. Aberdeen, are they still top of the league on goal difference? Let me just check quickly. But yeah, I mean, Rangers are going to have a long break now, international break, while they wait for the next games to come around. Let's have a quick look at the table. Yeah, Celtic top on goal difference, Aberdeen second with 12 points. Rangers are even 5 points behind Aberdeen at this stage of the season and level on points with Motherwell. But yeah, it could be a long season for them. They've got a tough group in Europe as well, tough draw in Europe, all the fixtures that they've got, and like I say, they're already behind on points from Celtic and Aberdeen as well. So yeah, it'll be a long old break for them before they can get back to playing again. And for Celtic, yeah, amazing, they'll be going into the international break really happy with how the season started. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Another tremendous atmosphere. I always love covering these games, as you'll know, so huge thank you for watching. There'll be a couple of videos on screen right now. If you could click on one of them to carry on watching, I would hugely appreciate it. What a mental few days that I've had. Yeah, if you appreciate all the effort that's gone in, if you could just click on one of these videos to carry on watching, I'd really appreciate it. Cheers.